ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्णपाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। This is the last session of Vivekachudamani. We have actually completed the 108 teaching verses which are selected for teaching in the last session itself. But then I decided to take 10 shlokas, which are called as the Nididhyasana shlokas, which are a highlight of actually Vivekachudamani. And most of the acharyas insist that these 10 shlokas are by-hearted because they are Nididhyasana shlokas. Nididhyasana means contemplation on whatever has been taught. And what is it that is the central teaching that has been taught in Vivekachudamani? The Mahavakya Vichara. That is Tat Tvam Asi. Or when I assimilate it as Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. I am that Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Atma Brahman. There is no bheda between me, this consciousness, and that consciousness which is the adhishtanam of this entire Jagat. So I, the Atma, is nothing but that Brahman. Aham Tad Brahma Asmi. This is the very central teaching of all our Upanishads and the teaching of Vivekachudamani also. And to have an Nididhyasanam on what we have studied so far, a Nididhyasana shloka is the one which constantly reminds us of whatever we have studied, whatever we have understood. Since the central teaching of Vivekachudamani or any other grantha or any Upanishad grantha, our Shruti, is basically Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi means you are that, as the teacher says. I assimilate it as Aham Brahmasmi. Since I am Brahman, is that ultimate knowledge which releases me from this bondage. This is the Nididhyasanam that I have to constantly keep doing, that I am not the body, mind, sense complex. I am this Atma Brahma, this Abheda, Atma Brahma Abheda. I am the same consciousness behind this body, mind, sense complex and all other body, mind, sense complexes. I am that consciousness which is the very adhishtanam of this entire Jagat. I am that Brahman. I am not the body, mind, sense complex. In me, all that is seen is created. In me, everything is sustained, everything is born, everything is sustained, everything resolves in me. The entire Jagat of names and forms, including my body, mind, sense complex, arises in me, sustains in me, and resolves in me. This is what is the Nididhyasanam that we have to do every day. Initially, as sitting Nididhyasanam, as was taught by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter, and later this Nididhyasana should become a regular, constant, spontaneous one, where even in and through my transactions, I should understand that body mind sense complex is mithya, and the mithya body mind sense complex is doing vyavahara with the mithya jagat, and I am not this body mind sense complex. Aham Brahma Atma Eva, Aham Satyam, Jagat Mithya, iti. This is what I have to constantly bring in. This knowledge has to be spontaneously available to me during all my transactions. And to help me with this, the process of nididhyasana has to go on. And these 10 shlokas from 254th up till 263 are talking about how can one think of this teaching and do a constant and daily contemplation of this teaching of the Upanishads. So yesterday we just introduced the first two verses. 254th verse, it said even for chanting, every day to chant these verses, it is so beautiful. In different kinds of tunes people chant these verses, but the way we have been taught, it is Jati Niti Kula Gotra Duragam Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varchitam Desha Kala Vishayati Vartiyad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavaya Atmani. The Guru is saying, may you all the time contemplate upon the fact that you are that Brahman. Brahma tat Brahma aham asmi iti bhavaya. Aham tat Brahma asmi iti bhavaya Atmani. Contemplate in your own mind. Contemplate on this thought constantly that I am that Brahman. So if I am that Brahman, what is the Swarupa Lakshanam? What are the Swarupa Lakshanani of this Brahman or Atma? So who am I? Who is this Brahman? What is this Brahman? What is this Atma? What are the Lakshanani of this Brahman and Atma? It says, Jati Niti Kula Gotra Duragam. I, the Atma, is not afflicted or affected by any kind of a jati or group. I don't belong to any group. Jati means group. Niti, I am not affected or afflicted by any of the laws. The laws of the universe do not affect me. They are not me. They are my laws. They don't bind me. I am not bound by any group, any jati. I am not bound by any laws. Kula, I don't belong to any particular family. It is the body which is born in a particular family, in a particular kula. It is the body which is born in a particular gotra. Whereas I, the Atma, has no kula, no gotra. So jati, niti, kula, gotra, duragam. That means I am far away and I don't belong to any jati, kula, niti, gotra, because I am the causeless, birthless consciousness. Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varjitam. I do not have any attributes or any name. But then we have given the name Atma and Brahman. Brahman means that which is big. Some name we have to give for Vyavaharikataya to talk about it. That is myself, and therefore a name called Atma. Atma means I. Brahman, that big thing, that infinite. Brahman also means infinite. That is me. But I am not known by any name. Rupa, I don't have any form. I am the formless, nameless. You cannot find me in any particular form. Therefore, I am formless, aimless, gunadosha varjitam. I neither have any positive attributes, gunas, nor do I have any kind of afflictions or doshas. Desha kala vishayati vartiyad. Desha kala vishayat ativarti, vishayati varti, vishaya ativartiyad. That means I am not limited by desha, kala, and vishaya. Normally, my body mind sense complex or anything in this jagat is limited by time, space, and other objects. But here he says, I, this Atma, this Brahman, is not limited by space, not limited by time, not limited by any other object. Why? Because there is one and only Ekam Advayam Atma. Therefore, I am not limited by a second Atma. There is nothing else other than me, the Atma. Therefore, I am not limited by any other object. Time does not limit me because I am Nityam. Time is born in me, space is born in me. Therefore, I am not limited by time or space. So, Desha Kala Vishayati Vartiyad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmai. I am that Brahman iti, may you always contemplate upon. The next verse, the second verse says, Yat param sakalavag gocharam gocharam vimala bodha chakshushaha shuddha chit ghanamanadi vastu yad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So, I am that Brahman, Brahmatatvamasi, you are that Brahman, iti, may you contemplate. Therefore, I contemplate upon myself as that Brahman. And what is my Swarupam? What is the Swarupam of this Brahman? Yat param sakala vaga gocharam, that Brahman which is infinite, Param means infinite, ultimate, the highest, the greatest, Sakalavag Agocharam, that Brahman which is not an object of any words, that Brahman which cannot be pointed out by any words, then how is it available to me? Gocharam Vimala Bodha Chakshushaha, that Brahman which is available only to a Jnana Chakshu. To me, when I turn my intellect inwards with the help of the Shastra and Guru, when I try to understand myself, the knower, the observer, when I try to understand my own nature, for that particular Vimala Bodha, that is of the nature of pure consciousness, which is available to a Jnana Chakshu, to an eye which is trying to see it the way it has to be seen, the way it has to be perceived, as told by the Shastra and Guru. And who am I? Shuddha Chitghanam Anadi Vastu Yad. That Brahman or I am Shuddha Chitghanam. I am of the nature of pure consciousness, not an iota of matter in me. Chit Ghanam Anadi Vastu, that which has been there immortally, Anadi. I am that immortal consciousness which has never come and gone, which has never been born, which has never died, therefore never undergone any changes. So I am that Shuddha Chit Ghanam. I am that pure consciousness. I am that pure substance consciousness. I am not mixed with even an iota of matter principle. I am the very observer consciousness, the knowing consciousness, Chit Ghanam, pure concentrated consciousness I am, and I am Anadi. I have been there immortally from time immemorial. I am not bound by anything. Shuddha Chit Ghanam Anadi Vastuyat Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. I am that Brahman. I am Anadi. I am the Chit Ghana. I am that Param infinite consciousness. This consciousness is something which cannot be objectified by words, but I can know myself with the help of the Shastra and Guru. And that Anadi Chit Ghana of the very nature of knowledge and consciousness. Who am I? I am that Brahman. Then the third one, 256th verse, it says, Shadbhirurmibhira yogi yogi hrid bhavitam na karanairvibhavitam buddhya vedyamanavatyamasti yad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. May you contemplate upon yourself as that Brahman, not separate from that Brahman. And what is that Brahman? What is you? What is me? What is this Atma? What is this Brahman? What is my Swarupam? Shad urmi bhihi, I am not affected. Shad urmi bhihi a yogi. Shad urmi bhir a yogi means I am not connected with the afflictions of the body, mind, sense complex. It is said that the body mind sense complex has shad urmis. Urmis means waves of affliction. Waves, as it keep coming one after another, where there is no control, that same way the body mind sense complex is also afflicted by certain waves of unavoidable happenings. They are called as shad urmis. What are the shad urmis? For the sthula sharira, for the annamaya kosha, the pair of urmis, or that which keeps coming and going without any control, is jara and mrityu. Aging, apakshaya, degeneration, degradation, and death. Jara and mrityu are the urmis, or the waves that afflict the sthula sharira, that is the annamaya kosha. And kshud and pipasa, hunger and thirst, are the urmis, or the waves which affect the pranamaya kosha. If annamaya kosha or the sthula sharira is afflicted by jara and mrityu, the pranamaya kosha is afflicted by kshud and pipasa. We have eaten now, we have drunk enough water. Within a short time, again there is a wave of hunger, wave of thirst. All our lives, there are waves and waves of hunger and thirst afflicting the pranamaya, making us to eat and drink to satisfy those urmis. Just like the waves lashing on the shores, these urmis or waves, unavoidable waves, lash the various koshas, and Jara and Mrityu are the waves lashing the Annamaya kosha. Kshud and Pipasa, thirst and hunger, are the urmis lashing the Pranamaya kosha, and Moha, Dukha and Moha. Dukha and Moha are the ones, delusion, confusion, and sorrow are the urmis which are afflicting the Manomaya kosha. These six waves of unavoidable affliction to the Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, and Manomaya kosha, these are what are called as the Shad urmis. But who am I? I am not afflicted by the Shad urmis. The Shad urmis affect only the Anatma, body, mind, sense complex. Anatma, Annamaya, Pranamaya, and Manomaya only are afflicted by the Shad Urmis. I am not, I, the Atma Brahman, am not affected by any of these. Then where am I found? Where am I found? Yogi Hrid Bhavitam, in a mumukshu's hrid, in the hridayakasha of a yogi, of a jnana yogi, of a mumukshu. This shines as an I shine as the light of consciousness in the heart of everybody. And this light of consciousness is what a yogi or a mumukshu wants to know or find out. So, who am I? I am unafflicted by the shadur means which affect the anatma body mind sense complex. But I am that light of consciousness which can be found in the heart of every jiva, for which the yogis are looking for. Na karanair vibhavitam. This cannot be objectified by any sense organs. Eyes cannot see, nose cannot smell it, ears cannot listen to it, the skin cannot touch it, and the tongue cannot taste it. Even the karmendriyas cannot handle or use this Atma, because this is not an object. It is the very subject consciousness. Karanair vibhavitam, na karanaihi vibhavitam, not shined or lighted up by any of the karanas. Karanas means bahya karanas and antakarana. Buddha vedyam anavadyam asti yad. But the buddhi, properly trained buddhi, when the buddhi or the intellect is properly directed, following the instructions of the guru and the Vedanta, the Guru and Shruti instructions, it can definitely find it, it can understand it. It may not be an object of perception, but it can be understood by a prepared intellect. And I am that consciousness which can be understood by the mumukshus and the yogis, can be found in their own Hridaya Gruhas as the light of consciousness. That Brahma I am, that Brahman I am. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Next comes the 257th verse. Bhranti kalpita jagat kalashrayam swashrayam cha sadasad vilakshanam nishkalam nirupamanavadbhiyat brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Hey Shisha, may you contemplate upon that Brahman as you yourself. And what is your nature? What is your Swarupam of you and Brahman? What is that Swarup? It is not you and Brahman. You, the Brahman. What are the Swarupa Lakshanas of you, that Brahman? He says, Bhranti Kalpida Jagat Kalashrayam. I, the consciousness, is the very support, the very adhishtanam of the entire world of objects. I am the support. In me, the entire world arises. The entire world exists, supported. And in me, the entire world goes back into an unmanifest form. So, Bhranti Kalpida Jagat Kalashrayam. This world, which is a projected world because of my Bhranti, what is the Jagat? We have already seen that Jagat is Mithya. Avidya, because of Avidya, because of the Avarana Shakti of Maya, the Vikshepa of a false Jagat is projected. A Jagat with names and forms, which is a false Jagat, is projected. Therefore, this Jagat, including this body, mind, sense complex, is Bhranti Kalpitam. It is something which is projected out of delusion. A delusion because I do not know what really I am, because I do not know my Swarupam. Because of this delusion and confusion, a false Jagat is projected by me. So this is the Bhranti Kalpita Jagat, but there should be an ashrayam for that. Like the movie is projected on a screen, like the magic is projected on a magician, this entire Bhranti Kalpitam Jagat is projected where? In me, the Atma Brahman. Therefore I say, Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam, Mai Sarvam Layam Yati. But at the same time, what is my support? Swashrayam cha sadasadvilakshanam. Swa ashrayam. I support myself. I am the support of myself. I support everything, but I am supportless. I am abiding in my own pratishtha. Swamahimni pratishtitam, it is said in the Upanishads. There is no other support for me, the Atma. I am the adhishtanam of this entire Jagat, but I don't have any further adhishtanam. I am not supported by anything else. I am the supportless support of this entire universe. Swa ashrayam. I am the support for myself at the same time. Sad asad vilakshanam. I am different from Karanam and Karyam. I am different from Murta Prapancha, Amurta Prapancha. Means I am the one who is the Adhishtanam of manifest universe and unmanifest universe. The Murta Prapancha and Amurta Prapancha. I am the one who is the Adhishtanam of the manifest and unmanifest universe. Nishkalam, Nirupamanavadbhiyad, Nishkalam. I am partless. I am not made of divisions. I am undivided. I don't have any avayavas. I am niravayavi. I don't have any parts put together. The whole world is nothing but what is put together with various parts. Even this body mind sense complex is something which is samhataha. It is put together, various parts brought together. But who am I? I am Nishkadam. Nishkadam means I am the one who's partless. I don't have any divisions or parts or avayavas. Nirupamanavadbhiyad. I cannot be compared with anything. Nirupama. I do not have any upama. Nothing can be compared. You cannot say, I, the Atman, looks like this. Me, the Atman, is sounding like this. No, there is no way you can give any kind of an example. We do give examples of space and light just to make it understood. But then ultimately, Atman or Brahman being one and only, Ekam Advitiyam, there is no other Vastu in the world whose example can be given to understand this Atma. Therefore, Nirupamanavadbhyada Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Hey Shishya, you are of that nature, you are that Brahman. Contemplate on this every day. Next, in the 258th verse, Vivek Chudamani says, Janma Vriddhi Parinatya Pakshaya Vyadhinashana Vihinamavyayam Vishwasrishtya Vidhata Karanam Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. So Janma, Vriddhi, Parinama, Apakshaya, Vyadhi, Nasha, all these are meant for what? All these are meant for the body. The body is born, Janma. The body grows, Vriddhi. Parinami, Parinati, that means what? The body, that is means there is parinama, there is a change constantly, there is a metamorphosis constantly changing. Apakshaya, there is a degeneration, degradation. Vyadhi, disease. Nashaha, death, ultimately destruction. All these changes are there for whom? For the body. But who am I? The Atma. Vyadhi nashana vihinam avyayam. I am the Avyaya Atma. I am the immortal Atma. I am that Atma Brahman which is not wasting away. I am that Atma Brahman which does not get destroyed. It is unborn, it does not undergo any vikaras, it does not die. Janma Rahita, Mrityu Rahita, Avyaya, Ekam Advitiyam Brahma Atma Ahamasmi. Then Vishwa Srishti Avighata Karanam. Vighata Karanam. I am the cause for the Srishti of this whole projected universe. This whole universe is projected in me, and I am the Adhishtanam in which this whole universe is projected. And Vighata Karanam. That means what? I am the reason or the Sthanam, Laya Sthanam also. The whole universe ultimately goes back or resolves back into a potential form. In me, this Adhishtanam Atma. Therefore, I am the Vishwa Srishti Karanam, Vishwa Sthiti Karanam, Vishwalaya Karanam. And who am I? Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Aham Tad Brahma Asmi. And these are all my Swarupa Lakshanas. Next, in the next verse, the same Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani is the advice given by the Guru. Hey Shishya, may you contemplate upon yourself as that Brahman which has all these lakshanas, and that is your Swarupa. You are that Brahman, it is your Swarupa. See how Vedanta describes us. It describes us with such glory. That is why in the previous, when we completed in the previous session, it says Swarajyam, Samrajyam. The, the Shishya said, You, hey Guru, you have made me to realize my own Samrajyam, Swarajyam. You have made me see that kingdom of mine, the glory of my own kingdom in me. So that is what it is. So here he says in the next verse, in the 259th verse, he says, Astabhedamanapastalakshanam Nistaranga Jalarashi Nishchalam Nityamuktamavibhaktamurtiyad Brahmatatvamasi Bhavayatmani. All the differences, all the names and forms, all that I see as different names and forms, everything ultimately gets resolved in me, the Atma. Asta Bheda Manapastha Lakshanam. So in me, all the Bhedas get resolved. I am I am the one which is one without a second. Chid Ghanam Brahma Atma Abheda Ekameva Advitiya Atma Brahman. And in me, all the Bhedas get resolved. All the Bhedas belong to the body, mind, sense complex and the Jagat. So all the Bhedas get actually resolved in me. And who am I? Nistaranga Jalarashi Nishchalam. Like supposing you see a quiet sea, a waveless sea, where all the waves, the bubbles, the foam, everything has resolved, and there is a quiet sheet of water there. So it is like that particular sheet of water or that body of water where all the differences like the waves and the bubbles, the foam, everything has resolved. Nistaranga Rashivat. I am that consciousness without any kind of ups and downs and changes. There are no waves arising in me. I am that consciousness which is Nistaranga Jalarashivat, like Manas Sarovar, where it is absolutely like a Nistaranga Jalarashi, a Jalarashi, a body of water without any kind of ripples or disturbance. That is me, that is my Swarupam. Nitya Muktam Avibhakta Murti. Avibhakta Murti, I am of the nature of non undivisibility, indivisibility. I cannot be divided into various parts. I cannot be divided. Nitya Muktaha, I am ever free. I cannot be divided into parts. Nitya Muktaha, Avibhakta Murti. Avibhakta means undivided, one constant, simultaneous consciousness which is Sarvagatam, which is Nityam, which is Muktam, which is all the time there. Nityam means immortal. Mukta, ever free, Asangam, which is not afflicted by anything that it supports. It supports everything, but not afflicted or affected by anything it supports. Nitya Muktam, always free. Avibhakta Murti, I am of the nature of non divisibility, undivided. You cannot divide me, the consciousness. When we can't divide water and air and space into various portions, how can Atma be divided? Atma cannot be divided into various portions. The world of names and forms can be divided. The body mind sense complex can be divided. But I am an undivided consciousness which cannot be divided. And who am I? That Brahman with these lakshanas I am. All these lakshanas belong to me, the Atma Brahman. I, the Atma, I, the Brahman. These are my Swarupa lakshanas. Then we come to the verse 260. Ekameva sadaneka karanam karanantara nirasya karanam कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयं ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि. Ekameva Sad. I am one and the only without a second. Sat Atma. I am that existence constantly there in all three periods of time. Therefore, I am the Sat Brahma. Ekameva Sat. I am that one without a second. Ekameva Advitiya Sat. This is what is described in the Chandogya Upanishad, in all the Upanishad. Ekameva Advitiyam. Ekameva Advitiyam. One and only without a second. Ekameva Sat. Aneka Karanam. But there are many karyas, there are many effects which arise from me as a projection. I am one without a second, but in me, the entire world of names and forms is projected. Karanantara nirasya karanam. But I don't have a karanam. I'm not born to anybody. I'm not born out of anything. I have been constantly there. I'm all the time there. And therefore, I am not having any karanam. So, Jati Niti Kula Gotra Duragam, which we saw in the first, that is 254th verse, it is repeated here. I don't have any karanam. I don't have a cause. I am the causeless cause of the entire universe. I am this causeless consciousness in which the entire universe is projected. At the same time, Karya Karana Vilakshanam Swayam. I am other than the Karanam and Karyam. Maya is the Karanam, the Upadana Karanam for this entire universe. The universe is the Karyam of Maya. Who am I? I am the Kshara Prapancha Akshara Prapancha Vilakshana Uttama Purusha, that is Brahman, 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I am Parat Param. I am Aksharat Param Brahma. I am that which is the Adhishtanam for Maya also, for this manifest Jagat also. So I am Karya Karana Vilakshanam. I am that consciousness principle which is other than the manifest world and also Prakriti. I am other than even Maya, the Prakriti. I am superior to Param. I am even superior to, I am the Paramarthika Satyam. Whereas the world and the Maya Prakriti are Vyavaharika Satyas. But I am the ultimate Paramarthika Satyam, Karya Karana Vilakshanam. I am neither the Karanam nor the Karyam. I am that consciousness in which this world is projected by Maya. Therefore, I am neither the Karanam for this world nor the Karyam. The world is a mere manifestation in me. Therefore, I am Karya Karana Vilakshanam Swayam. All these things we have already seen, in our this the Vivek Chudamani 180 verses. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Then Nirvikalpamanapalpamaksharam Yaksharaksara Vilakshanam Param Nityamavyaya Sukham Niranjanam Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. I am free from all change. All the changes take place in the Maya. All the parinamas take place in the Jagat. I am Nirvikalpa. Analpam Aksharam. I am that Nirvikalpam Aksharam. I am that without any doubt, I don't have any changes. And I am different from that which is a destructible and indestructible principle. I am that which is different from Maya. I am different from the Jagat. The destructible universe, the Kshara Purusha, I am not, I am the Adhishtanam for this Kshara Purusha. Akshara Purusha, that Maya, which is constantly there, Anadi, which is also not destructible. I am something which is a higher reality than Maya and also the universe. Nityam, Avyayam, Sukha Swarupam, Niranjanam. I am Nityam. I am immortal, all the time there, not limited by time. Avyayam, there are a lot of repetitions, as we already saw that Avyam. I don't get wasted. I am indestructible, therefore I am Nityam. I am constantly there, indestructible. Sukham, I am of the Sukha Swarupa. There is no iota of Dukkha in me. I am the Ananda Swarupa. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satchit Ananda Atma. I am that Purnatva Swarupa, Sukha Swarupa, Rasa Swarupa Atma Ahamasmi, Niranjanaha, not tainted by what I support. I support the whole universe, not tainted by what I support. Like the sunlight supports or lights up the entire universe, not does not get affected by anything that's happening in the universe. The space accommodates everything in the universe, the whole universe itself, but not afflicted by the changes that are happening in the universe. Similarly, I am Niranjanam. I don't get afflicted, I don't get tainted by anything that I support. And who am I? Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. I am that Brahman, which is the very Tattvam, the very stuff with which this entire universe is made. And the Guru says, may you look upon yourself as that Brahman with all these Swarupas. And what is this description of Brahman? It is my Swarupam. The Swarupa Lakshanas of Brahman are ultimately my Swarupam because I am that Brahman. Therefore, think of that Brahman with all its Swarupam and then understand that all these Lakshanas are my Lakshanas. The Brahma Lakshanas are Atma Lakshanas. Iti Atma Brahma Abheda. So in the 262nd verse, last but one, Yadvibhati sadane kada भ्रमात् नाम रूप गुण विक्रियात्मना हेमवत्स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यद् विभाति सत् अनेकदा भ्रमात्. This one Sat, this one Atma, because of confusion and delusion and Brahma, Bhranti, looks as if it is manifesting as many. Actually speaking, Atma is in no way manifesting as in many. This Prakriti or Maya is projecting this many folded universe in me, the Atma. Therefore, Yad Vibhati Sad, that Sat Brahma Atma, I shine as the Ekam Advitiyam, Anekada Brahmat Namarupa Gunakriyatmana. But because of my Brahma, because of my Avidya, it looks as if I am divided into Namarupas, as if I am manifesting in different Namarupas. But no, I am not divided into many Namarupas. I am that one Ekam Advitiyam Sat, which is the shining consciousness, which is that consciousness which shines everything. It is that consciousness, Brahman Atma, and I shine and I reveal, and after me, the whole world is revealed. So I shine, and after me, the whole world shines. Asya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. I shine. I am the light of consciousness. I light up everything after me. Therefore, Nama Rupa Guna Vikriyatmana, that which is there, all names and forms, they don't belong to me. They're a mere projection me. What example he is giving? Hemavat Swayam Avikriyam Sada, like gold. The ornaments are many. The ornaments are divisions. They are divided. But I am like that gold, which is the ultimate adhishtanam to all the divisions, all the names and forms, all the activities, the names and forms, and the function purpose belongs to the ornaments, not to the gold. The gold is the mere upadana karanam of all the ornaments. Similarly, I, the Atma, in me, all the names, forms, gunas, kriyas are happening. But I am not affected by any, and at the same time, like the gold is the very substance behind all this activity of the ornaments. I am the stuff and the substance, Ekamadvitiyam, behind this entirely, constantly active world of names and forms and kriya. And who am I? Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. I am that Brahman. I am this Karana Karya Rahita. Then Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharira Vyatirikta पंचकोश विलक्षण अवस्थात्रय साक्षी आत्मा एकमद्वयं ब्रह्म आत्मा ब्रह्म advayam atma brahma ahameva asmi. Now the last verse of this nididhyasana 10 shlokas is 263rd verse, where he says yachakasthya param parat param प्रत्यगेकरसमात्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यच्चकास्ति अनपरं परात्परं. There is nothing else other than me. I am the one and the only. Everything else is mithya. I am the only Satyam. I am the ultimate reality. I am the Paramarthika Satyam. The entire world and its Karanam Maya are purely experiential realities. Therefore, I am the Satyam and nothing else is there other than me. This whole Jagat, whatever you see, is nothing other than Atma Rupam, Brahma Rupam, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Whatever I see, whatever I am doing, whatever is happening, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, is everything is nothing but me, this consciousness. And where am I available? Pratyag Eka Rasa Atma Lakshanam. I am that innermost content, Pratyag. I am that Atma which is nearest, that which is the content of this body, mind, sense complex. Eka Atma, Eka Rasa Atma Lakshanam. Ekarasa, it is something which is not divided. It is one continuous, one simultaneous consciousness principle, which is me, which is the nearest, which is internal, pratyag, that which is the closest, that which is the innermost, that Brahman is who? I, this consciousness, which is the innermost, which is the nearest, which is me, myself. And what is this? Satya Chit Sukham Anantam Avyayam. I am of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda Atma. Sat means I am, when I say the amness, the existence I am. I, the knowledge principle, the knower I am, Sat Chit, and I am that Purnatva Atma Ahamasmi. Existence I am, the consciousness I am, and the Purnatvam I am. Sat Chit Sukham, Anantam, infinite consciousness, infinite Sat, infinite Jnanam Aham, Avyayam, again, I am not that destructible at all. The world is destructible, Maya is destructible, but I am the indestructible Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa Atma, Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. May you contemplate, He Shishya, on that Brahman with these Lakshanas as yourself. So, whenever we are reading these verses, I should try to understand all these Lakshanas as my Lakshanas. Since I am that Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, the Brahma Lakshanas that are talked about in these 10 verses are my Lakshanas, my Swarupam. Who says I'm a samsari? Who says I'm a limited being? Who says I'm the one who's born and dying? I'm not that. What I am is something much, much more sacred, which is of the highest order of reality. But because of my Brahma, Bhranti, confusion, I do not know who I am. And what Vivekachudamani is telling me is the very stuff that all the Upanishads and the Shruti tells me, that you are that ultimate, the highest. There is nothing higher than you. You are that Paramarthika Satya Atma Brahman. You are not this body, mind, sense complex. Everything that you objectify as the body, mind, sense complex and the Jagat is mere experiential reality, mithya. Let it be there in its place. But may you understand yourself to be that Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Sat Chit Ananda Rupa Atma Brahma. With this, we complete the entire Vivekachudamani. And since we have completed this text, I am so grateful to our Guru Parampara and to our dearest Sadyojata Shankarashrama Swamiji, who has given me this pleasant job of sharing whatever I have learned from my Vedanta gurus about whatever Vedantic truths I have understood, I have known. He has given me a free hand in sharing whatever I know with you all. And I'm so grateful. And whatever I have taken in this 27 sessions, 108 verses of Vivek Chudamani teaching verses, plus 10 Nididhyasana slokas, which I felt were important, though they were not a part of 108 verses. I actually, offer it at the feet of our Guru Parampara and at the feet of Ishvara, so that all of us are blessed by this knowledge. And as usual, there are so many people who have worked behind making this successful. Archana, Sharmila, Shantish, and so many others, whom Linata, whom I have not even met, but then they have made this whole thing go on without any hitch and successfully. And as I have already mentioned in the last session, our Swamiji has asked me to start sharing with you all Kathopanishad, to give a glimpse of the Upanishad. What is the meaning of? We have seen a glimpse of Bhagavad Gita. We have seen a glimpse of a Prakarana Grantha of Acharya Shankara. Now Our beloved Swamiji wants us to be sharing or know what is an Upanishad. How does the Upanishad teach the same knowledge? That is what he wants us to know, and that from the next session onwards, we'll be sharing this wonderful knowledge of Kathopanishad. As an example of the Upanishads, we'll be taking the Kathopanishad and taking that, studying that. नन्दन्तु साधका सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्थाशाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु गुरुस्तदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत्